So this thing was, I need bourbon. Yeah, buddy. All right, buddy. Yeah.
I can do 2 minutes of anything.
Can you?
No. I'm Harry.
And I'm Richard.
And come on, focus on me. There we go.
There you are.
It's Dead Decks.
You look better when you were blurry.
Yeah. That's what she said. She didn't escape in time though.
You get both bald fuckers this time.
Mm-hmm.
Too lazy and hot to put on a hat.
Yeah, it's pretty warm down here.
Worm.
Pretty warm.
What the hell are we talking about today, Harry?
We are talking about World of Warcraft.
Fuck yeah, we are.
I mean, Shadow Era. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. 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 Shadow Era.
Shadow Era, the card game.
You know, I realize I have lots more shit I could have had in my hands. But, who can be bothered with that?
Fuck. If you knew the amount of apathy that we have between us,
So much quit in us.
it would fill this basement up. I'm telling you.
Yeah, if the basement wasn't already full of fucking cardboard. I found a box.
That's good enough.
Shadow Era.
Yep.
There's a booster box. That helps so much.
Yeah, I guess before we even get started, since all you motherfuckers are going to click off anyway, is you can buy that shit dirt ass cheap. Dirt cheap. How much?
$24 for 6 boxes.
Shipped.
Yeah. In the States, presume, yeah. I don't know that changes.
Yeah. I mean, overseas, it would. We're not getting into that.
Yeah.
It'd cost you some money overseas.
$24 ship in the States. So I don't know if they'll come in a case. If you order two, the way it's set up with this one listing on eBay is 3 boxes of the first set and 3 of the second. But $6 a fucking box. No, $4 a box. Abu Dhabi, man.
$4 a box shipped. You can't even ship a box for $4.
Yeah.
So ergo, I mean, just buy some for the fuck of it, just to make fun of it, I guess. I don't know, but it's what we're about to do. So
That's why we're even talking about this shit. I mean, that's why I have as much as I have.
Yeah.
Because it's so fucking cheap. So this thing was, I need bourbon. I'm going to bore myself.
Ooh. Oh no.
There we go. Let's take a shot.
Okay.
This thing was made by Woven Studios. It's still a currently running digital TCG. Cross-platform. I'm iOS myself. I've been playing it. I played it for 5 days. I gave a shit for 5 days.
Marco obsession.
Digital game has been around since 2011. They made 2 physical sets through crowdfunding, but on their own site, so they didn't use Kickstarter or anything. Just did their website. Call of the Crystals and Dark Prophecies. That's 2 sets. So, despite the fact they've been around 12 years, they've only made 5 digital sets, and then the 2 physical sets. They're a really fucking small studio, very slow. 5 digital sets in 12 years is, I think you and I might go faster than that.
Well,
We just established we don't do shit.
we could talk about it at least.
That's really fucking slow.
That is pretty slow.
Digital sets? I mean, come the fuck on. 150 cards. You can't type in words and get digital art. 2 years per set.
Especially when you're ripping off another game completely.
Yeah.
I mean, they come out with stuff. You can just keep copying them. Maybe that's what they're doing. They just wait for new WoW expansions to come out so they can get new content.
Both of the physical sets at this point are old, so it looks like they're not going to make any more. I think that's gone. I think it was right around when it might have been 2012, 2013, so not too long after they started the app. So they have on the product line, they've got a booster box for both of the sets. They only made 1 starter box. It has a bunch of fixed starters for the different factions. They got oversized hero cards. I'm not even going to bother grabbing those. But if you're familiar with WoW, it's a hero. Just a big card. Pretty cool looking, and they're cheap, like everything for this game. Some sleeves, and then they got full master factory sets for both. Those are probably the most expensive thing and the hardest to find, but occasionally they pop up cheap. So it's original fantasy setting. The art is.
That's the only thing that's original.
Yeah, the art's digital, but I like it. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
It definitely has that WoW vibe. It's a dark, pretty cool, gory war. Cardstock's fine. Quality of card seems fine. There's no real issues on that stuff. Chase card wise, there's a epic rarity that's 1 in 5 packs. And there's a legendary, which is like a 1 and a box or 2 hit. And the legendary was only in the second set. So the claim to fame for this thing is the Dice Tower review that Tom Bassel did, where he just loses his fucking mind. He hates this thing worse than just about anything he's ever touched, and rants. And I forget how many views the video's had now, but there's people in the comments that say they come back and watch it just because they love how much he flips his shit. Which is unlike Tom Bassel. He's normally much cooler than that. But yeah, he loses his mind. One of the things he says it's boring, stupid, bad, terrible, and then gives it a 1 out of 10. Maybe even throws some cards down. I think he slams some shit together. It's pretty entertaining. But he calls it a magic clone. It's one of his objections. And people in the comments pointed out he was half right. It's a clone. It doesn't look a thing like fucking magic. It's a WoW clone. Almost exactly a WoW clone.
Yeah, and we'll put a picture here probably. Where it shows.
I can show it.
Similarity. No, it's not similarity. It goes past that.
Yeah.
Copyright infringement.
I'll show you as best I can, but then you can do...
Yeah, I'll pop it up on the screen.
Yeah. They even did the same icons, the same sizes of everything. So, I mean, this is the 2 different games, but you couldn't fucking tell.
If you held it far enough away, you'd be hard-pressed to tell which one is which.
Oh, yeah.
Especially without knowing the game really well.
Yeah, so I looked into it. You know, people say things like that. It's a clone. It's a blah, blah, blah. Like, if you say a game has mana, they'll call it a magic clone. So I did some digging, and yeah, it's way beyond anything like that. It's a clone. So in both games, they've got factions. Of course, WoW has factions. 2 factions in Shadow Era, just like WoW. Classes, I think 5 of them are exactly the same. The turn structure is almost exactly the same. Turn phases, they've got play, ability, combat, resource, and I think maybe Shadow Era moves one of those slightly, the phase in a different spot. But they're even called the same fucking thing. Same names. Same name for the phases. Same victory condition. You kill your opponent's hero. Almost the same card types. I think they fractionated theirs in Shadow Era, so they made a generic type that has the 3 other types inside of it. Other than that, same names for all of them. Same physical layout on the cards, same icons, fucking everything. So
yeah, it looks dead up like when we opened a box of this on channel. Seems like I remember saying that it looked a lot like WoW at the time. I didn't even know anything about all this at the time.
Yeah, and I certainly hadn't went all the way down the rabbit hole of just exactly how much of a clone it was. The worst case of a clone I've ever seen. One of the funny things is in response to Tom Bassel shredding them a new asshole, one of the creators of the game said, kind of laughed it off and left a smart ass reply and said that the game was inspired by WoW and other things. That's not what inspired by looks like, fucker.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Not even close. If you have cloning somebody, it's inspiring. Yeah, so it's pretty blatant. Now, having said that, it still looks fun, but then that makes me wonder, why wouldn't I just play WoW? It's a lot cheaper to get my hands on Shadow Era.
It's a lot cheaper to play Shadow Era.
Yeah, I've got Shadow Era cards coming out of my ass. Before these lots of on eBay of the 6 boxes, they were selling actually in the case. Whether $40 for a case or $35.
Yeah,
See, I have a case of both sets, a case of the starters. More shit than I should admit to having.
Shadow Era rich.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, WoW would probably be pretty cheap too nowadays, except for those stupid loot cards. That's what keeps those so buoyed.
Oh, you reminded me of the point I forgot to mention. The equivalent of loot cards is also here. They have redemption codes online in Shadow Era, so every pack has a code, and I entered a whole fucking bunch, so I can tell you either get of their currency, you get 100, 150, or 200, and it seems it's random, whatever you enter a code. But it turns out to be a lot of currency. I think when I looked, if you were to buy that outright through the app, a single box is like $75 or $100 worth of currency for a $4 box. So
if you like the game on your phone, then yeah, it'd be worth buying it just for that.
Yeah. It's a great deal if you can sit and type in all the codes.
Yeah. And
you want to play the digital app. I loaded it and bought a bunch of shit with all the... I probably opened 12 boxes of this stuff.
And you still have 18 left?
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't opened the cases. I'm probably not going to.
It's a lot of work, bud.
I've got way more of this shit than anybody should ever own. So, anyway, fuck's sake. That's a lot of dry words.
Yeah, buddy.
Well, fuck how we do that.
Good enough, I guess.
Yeah, buddy, we did. Fuck, all right.